Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. I hand you over now to Amuga Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So today is 13th of February, and it is Tuesday, and it is Madhava Masa, Sukla Paksham, and today is Chaviti and Panchami. 2 days are falling on the same day. So there is one event, it is Kumbhaka Sankranti, but I do not understand. I don't see descriptions in the ISKCON.com about this event. So shall I quickly move on to Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry, I'm just wondering about what does Shukla Paksha mean. I hear you say this quite often. I keep forgetting to ask you.
So Shukla Paksha is the bright fortnight, waning waxing moon. It was 15 days. Waning moon of 15 days is Krishna Paksham. It is the moon is reducing, and in the waxing moon, moon is increasing to the full moon. That is Shukla Paksham. So, shall we move on to Srimad Bhagavatam? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj has been hearing from Sukadeva Goswami. So Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about himself, that he has received the Srimad Bhagavatam from his father in the beginning of, or at the end of the Dwapara Yuga. So that is where, and the Srila Jiva Goswami was saying, giving an analogy about that tree. So, but even though Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Aditavan Dwaparadu Vitudvaipayanat Aham. So here it is mentioning Dwaparadu. So if I see the observation of the lineage, Sukadeva Goswami's father Vyasadeva. Vyasadev's father is Parashara Muni. Parashara Muni's father is the Shakti Muni. Shakti Muni's father is Vasistha. Vasistha is the spiritual master of Lord Ramachandra in the Treta Yuga. So the lineage, so in that lineage, if we see, it is the great grandson of Vasistha Muni is Sukadeva Goswami. So there is a overlapping of, this is Dwapare Samanuprapte Tritiya Yuga Paryaye. So overlapping of Dwapara Yuga and Treta Yuga. So there are few things which cannot be understood that much easily. That kind of Yuga Sanja is pattern for the Lord's appearance, Krishna's appearance. It's kind of arrangement. So here Jiva Goswami has given just in a simple way to understand as the analogy of the tree. Idam Bhagavatam Nam Puranam Brahma Samhitam Aditavan Dwaparadu Vitudvaipayanat Aham. So further, Sukadeva Goswami is saying that even though I am completely transcendental to the material nature, I am not attracted by any activities of the material thing, but still I was enlightened, I was attracted towards the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why I have studied all this Srimad Bhagavatam from my father. And Sukadeva Goswami is saying about himself. So we are in the Second canto, chapter 1, verse number 9. परिनिष्ठितोऽपि नैर्गुण्य उत्तमश्लोकलीलया गृहीतचेत राजर्षे आख्यानं यद् अधीतवान्. परिनिष्ठितोऽपि, I am parinistah, completely realized, fully realized. Parinistah, even though parinistitopi api, so in spite of even the fully realized naigunya, in the complete transcendence, uttama shloka leelaya gruhita, I have attracted towards uttama shloka leelaya, the Lord is glorified by the enlightening verses, uttama shloka leelaya, and he is also called uttama shloka directly by his pastimes. Uttama shloka leelaya gruhita cheta, I have been attracted. Cheta is a attentively, with so much of attention, I was attracted. When we hear something wonderful, we just carefully observe what is there in it. So like why? Sukadeva Goswami, even though he was not attracted, even though he is parinishti, topi naigunya, he was attracted. Gruhita cheta rajashe, O Rajarshi, O saintly king Parikshit Maharaj, I was attracted towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead's pastimes. And Akhyanam Yad Aditavan. Akhyanam, by delineation, I have studied all this Srimad Bhagavatam very carefully. So, Sukadeva Goswami is saying this to Parikshit Maharaj. Parinishthitopi nargunya uttama shloka leelaya gruhita cheta rajasya akhyanam yad aditavan. So, translation for this verse. O saintly king, I was certainly situated perfectly in transcendence, yet I was still attracted by the delineation of the pastimes of the Lord, who is described by enlightening verses. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So can I request Dena Srestha Mataji, would you like to read purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna Dandavat. The absolute truth is realized at the first instant as the impersonal Brahman by the philosophical speculation, and later as the super soul by further progress of transcendental knowledge. But if by the grace of the Lord and the impersonalized is the enlightened by the supreme statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is also the convert into a transcendental devotee of the personality of Godhead. With the poor fund of the knowledge, we cannot adjust to the idea of the personally of the absolute truth, and therefore the personal activities of the Lord are deported by the less enlightened impersonalized but person but reason and the arguments together with the transcendental process of the approaching the absolute truth help even the uh, stations and impersonalized to become the attracted by the personal activities of the Lord. A person like the Sukadev Goswami cannot be attracted by any uh, mundane activities, but when such a devotee is convicted by a superior matter, he is certainly attracted by the transcendental activities of the Lord. The Lord is the transcendental, as are the as are his activities. He is the neither inantative nor a personal, impersonal. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about the supreme absolute truth. Lord he can be known by Vadanti tattat tattvam yajnanamadhyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabhyate, in the three phases of realization. So Bhagavan is the ultimate. All these things have been explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the impersonalists, so sometimes with the full fund of knowledge, so they criticize some people who are taking to the devotional service. They cannot study the Vedas, they cannot do all these things. They're simply going to the Lord and engage themselves in the bhakti. So they think in such way. So Prabhupada is saying that is a poor fund of knowledge. We cannot adjust to that idea of that absolute. So we are perfectly analyzing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vadanti tat tat vitsarpam yajnanam adbhayam. It is a scientific study. Then only that's why we are approaching to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All his activities are dhaivim karma vichestitam. That is very transcendental. And so in the Krishna's pastimes, we see historical evidences. So Krishna, even he has to bring the Brahmana's children in the Dwaraka. So when a Brahmana's 10 children, they were, as soon as they were born and they were dying at that time, even the Krishna was there, he was still, he was not protecting at that point to make a pastime. So Arjuna was there at the time when Brahmana was rebuking and criticizing everyone. At that time, Arjuna said, I could protect all these children. So if even the Krishna is not protecting, Balram is not protecting, but I will protect, something like that he promised. But Arjuna also could not protect later on. And to fulfill Arjuna's promise, Krishna, so taking Arjuna, he has crossed this Brahman light and went to the Karnadak Sai Vishnu, who is beyond this, outside of this universe. And then there he got the children. So he has crossed Brahman light. So that is one evidence. It is the Lord, and that is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Brahmanohi pratistaham. That Brahman light is also for that I am the basis. And second statement is the Paramatma. So the Lord, he is in the everyone's hearts. And here, when Lord was protecting Parikshit, he entered into the womb of Uttara. So he is outside and also he is inside. Also he is in the heart of all the living entities. He understands every living entity's movements. So he was helping Pandavas. So what you should be doing further. So that is Paramatmiti feature. And the next Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead, when it comes, and Brahma was bewildered, Lord Shankara was bewildered, and many people, even Durga Mata was in the assistance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These are all historical evidences. That's why we are approaching Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead based on the Shastric injunctions, historical evidences. It is not a poor fund of knowledge. Some impersonalists, they're deployed by the less intelligent impersonalists. So reasons and arguments, together with the transcendental process of approaching the supreme absolute truth, help even the staunch impersonalists to become attracted by the personal activities of the Lord. So this is glorification and his personal activities of the Lord. These are historical evidences. And here, Sukadeva Goswami cannot be attracted by any mundane activity. So that such a devotee is convinced only by superior method. So when Kapil Bhagavan was explaining all this devotional service to Devahuti, he was explaining about the Varnashrama Dharma. In that Varnashrama Dharma, he says, Tato Varnasha Chatvaraha Tesham Brahmana Uttamaha. Brahmaneshopi Vedajno hi Ardajno Abhyadika Tataha. So out of Varnashrama, Brahmanas are best. Out of Brahmanas, who knows the Vedas, he is the best. Out of those who knows the meaning of the Vedas, he is the best. Out of those, Addajnat Samsatyeta Tata Shreyan Swakarma Krit Mukta Sangaha Tato Bhuyan Adhogdha Dharmamapmanaha. And who can explain those things, meanings of those Vedic injunctions, they are the best. Out of those who are performing those activities in real life, they are the best. Out of those things, who have completely renounced the fruits of their actions, they are the best. Out of those who have surrendered himself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead without any reward, he is the best. Adobda Dharmamatmanaha. So that's why he mentions, establishes the hierarchy. Tasmat maya arpita ashesha kriya adha atma nirantaraha mai mai arpita atmanaha pumso mai sanyasta karmanaha napashyami param bhutam akattuhu samadar akattuhu samadarshanath. He mentions that one. So, my dear mother, so there is no person is greater than or equal to a devotee who has completely surrendered himself. He is Adda, Kriya, Atma, Mai Sanyasta Karmanaha, and completely he himself. I do not see anyone else in this cosmic manifestation. Napasyami parambhutam. Napasyami parambhutam akattuho samadarshanath. That is the statement. And he mentions that एतद् भगवतो रूपं ब्रह्मणः परमात्मनः परं 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 प्रधानं पुरुषं दैवीं कर्म विचेष्टितम्, and he is known as the Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All his activities are spiritual. This is Kapila Bhagavan's statement as well. So here all this evidence is coming from scriptural injunctions. So Prabhupada mentions these things. And the Lord is neither inactive nor impersonal. He is transcendental and all his activities are divyam or daivim karma vichesitam. Janma karma chime divyam evam yo veti tatpataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naitimam veti sorjana. So that is the Bhagavad Gita statement by Krishna. And Prabhupada explaining here, it is scientific process. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sukadeva Goswami saying, Parinistitopi naidgunya uttama shloka leelaya guhita cheta rajashe apyanam yadaditavan. And this one also when Savanakadi sages asked Suta Goswami, they were asking like, Savai nivritti nirtaha sarvatra upekshiko munihi kasiva brahman yetam atmaramaha samabhyasat. Atma Ramaha Samabhisat. So even though why Sukadeva Goswami was completely transcendental, why he took the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, at the time Suta Goswami says this Atma Rama Shamunyo Nirdhandapi Urukrame Kurvante Kim Bhakti Mittam Bhutta Guno Harehi. That is Suta Goswami's statement. Now Sukadeva Goswami, he himself now stating here, Parinishti Opinai Bhunya Uttama Shloka Leelaya. Gurhita Cheta Rajashe Akyanam Yad Aditavan. So these are all, everything is scientific and history. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today it is a letter to Balimaddan, January 8th, 1970. Can I request Jahanakanya Mataji?
Hare Krishna. My dear Balimardan, please accept my blessings. I was in due receipt of your letter and 2 price quotation while I was in London, but because I was busy in so many engagements, I could not reply you earlier. The price quotation from Daya Nippon is accepted, but as soon as I made arrangement for the money, I shall conform it and send the manuscript. In the meantime, I learned that you are going to Australia and you have already got the visa to Sydney. You want to take with you Upandra, and I have advised him to follow you. Both you and Sudama went to Japan. Now Sudama has taken charge of Tokyo Center, and if you take charge of Sydney Center, it will give me the greatest pleasure. My ambition is to open centers as many as possible, At least I want to see that centers are opened in every important places. Now you have seen how practically our students are opening centers here and there. All the new centers recently opened in California and central states are improving very much. I have received one letter from um, Barnana, Barmana Dev from St. Louis. It is very much encouraging. I now, I now, I now you, I know. Sorry, K is missing, isn't it? I know you are a very sincere Krishna conscious preacher, and Krishna will surely help you in your great adventure. So, by this work, not only you will be pleased by Krishna, which is a spiritual gift, but also your name will be recorded in the history of the Krishna consciousness movement, which I am sure is to grow to the largest volume of expansion. I shall always pray for your long life, for preaching work in the service of the Lord. Thank you very much. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Anything
Hare
else, points,
Krishna.
Mataji?
Well, one of Prabhupada's dire wishes and all his energy was poured into developing Krishna consciousness in every important place, which is busy cities, and also in the poverty-stricken area. He was very hot on this, and so he, when any of his devotees are making striving to help him propagate this movement, he becomes so extremely pleased. He's overjoyed, and so he actually propagated this way, which is don't go alone. You must have company, so you could, because in your past experience to what's his name, sorry, again, uh, is it, what's his name, the person who is he's written to? Yeah, you in the past, Bali, you have actually acquired amazing success. For instance, you went with another devotee to Sydney in Australia, and he actually started um, uh, he started a movement there, and he's still running it and making the center taking charge of it and making it successful. So he's very pleased with that. And in this case, when he's going to Japan, he should take um, another devotee. I think his name is Upindra, and then Upindra can also do the same, and he would be so extremely pleased that if he can take charge of the center in Sydney, yeah, and give, yeah, actually. So his ambitions, as I said earlier on, is to spread the word, because he said even the students of these devotees are actually opening important centers in important places. So he's so happy, and he's putting him in a very good position, because by his actions he's going to become famous, and the world will recognize him in Krishna consciousness movement, that he has is like what you get a Guinness Book of Record in the English life. Yeah, it'll be recorded in history. Yes, and you will grow even larger and larger and expand as a great preacher and devotee. And yeah, I think that's what it's saying here. That is so beautiful, because what it's teaching us is that we must make that move and effort and cooperate with each other, so we can become something in Krishna consciousness um, position, uh, um, movement, so you can actually um, anybody can make an effort and do it. If you take the Krishna consciousness, you'll have support, and you will be able to perform a lot better and improve and encourage and increase followers in Krishna consciousness, which is what Prabhupada's is hoping and wishing, is dear to his heart to do this. And in fact, because he was so good at it, his devotees are taking charge, and the world is recognizing Krishna consciousness movement, and it's becoming bigger and bigger, because at one time, before, within his 12 years of reign, he actually managed to develop 108 centers in the world, within the world. And since then, we've got, I don't know, I've lost count, but it's every corner of the world has got a Krishna conscious movement, even in Russia, which was the most difficult place and nobody would dream of it. And it's the largest Krishna conscious center in Russia. Prabhupada was threatened and put in prison, and then he was released because they couldn't hold him against spreading the word of God. So we have got a part to play in making things bigger and better in Krishna consciousness. That's what I gather from it, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji, explaining very beautifully. So anything connecting to Krishna, so in due course of time, it will be recorded and be glorified by the successors, that we are practically realizing and seeing everything. And, thank you so much, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, that is from Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got preaching session with Hemlata Mataji at 8 p.m. That's all upcoming events for today. And dear devotees, if you have got anything to share on Krishna consciousness or any events are going on, kindly share those information to all of us. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vaishnaveyo namo namaha.
अनन्तकोटि
Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
भगवान् की
Ki
जय।
jai.